launch your coaching business fast. Welcome to Season 7 of the Coach Pony podcast, and we are here to help you get paid to coach. In this season, we are going to cut through the noise and show you how to launch your coaching business fast. So strap in and get ready to step on the gas.
It's lights out and away we go! Hello, I'm on the track watching the coaches line up before the start, and I want to check in and see if they're ready. Let's go to Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff for his take on the action.
Marketing is the lifeblood of any organization. I don't care whether you drive fast cars or help people find their potential. So you must dig deeper.
Let's go to the track.
My coaching business was so new back in 2012, and I didn't have any paying clients yet. Everyone around me kept saying, you should get on Facebook, you should get on Twitter. But I didn't like social media. Though I second-guessed myself. Everyone around me seemed so confident, so I thought maybe I should try it. So I got some help to set up my business profiles on social, and I started posting. I wasn't posting that often, but honestly, it felt like a lot. It was mentally exhausting putting myself out there in a way that felt so uncomfortable. Nervously, I kept refreshing my email inbox after every single post and share. Someone had to see what I was posting and respond and set up a consult, right? Wrong. It wasn't working. I felt tired and I felt like a failure. How on earth was I going to find paying clients? Okay, how to find clients is the age-old question for coaches. Without clients, you can't coach. So you got to get paid if you want to support yourself as a coach. So of course, finding clients becomes your first priority. And I get that. It was mine too. But most coaches make such a big mistake right away. And the mistake is this. They try and do everything in terms of marketing and finding clients. All of the things. Social media and all of the socials, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, the list goes on. And then they might try writing and posting a few blogs on their brand new shiny website. And of course, maybe even starting a podcast and attempting a couple YouTubes, telling every single person in their network that they are a coach and ready for business. And nothing seems to work. All of this effort, it should lead to something good, right? It makes sense. Wrong. It doesn't. And so I want to take a moment to make sense of this, because doing everything, even though it seems logical, is not the best way to find a steady stream of clients. And the proof, you guys, is in the pudding. If it worked, you'd already have all of the clients you need as a coach. And you would not be listening to this podcast or need me or Coach Pony or any other business help, right? Exactly. So you know what I'm saying is true. But I do want to go further and dig into this deeper, because what I'm going to share in this episode of the podcast is absolutely counterintuitive. And every fiber of your being is going to want to ignore it. So let's get into some facts before we get into the lesson. So fact number 1 is that marketing channels are all different, and they each require different skill sets in order for you to stand out and gain traction and gain visibility. So for example, hosting a podcast is a very different skill set from creating a cool reel on Instagram. One is about long-form audio communication and requires a knowledge of how to write a great script or conduct a really interesting in-depth interview, as well as how to title a podcast and do all the audio behind it and release it in a way that's going to really resonate with your potential audience. The other, Instagram, involves short-form video communication, which includes how to light and edit a video, how to craft a script or story that has a hook that grabs people in the first 2 seconds, and so on and so forth. And both are very different skill sets from, let's say, networking or public speaking. So if you are trying to do them all, no wonder you are failing. Greg McKeown, in his book Atomic Habits, which is a wonderful read, absolutely read it. I'll link to it in the show notes, tells us to do less, but do it better, to focus on what is essential so that we can go farther faster. So picture this, instead of going 1 foot in 12 different directions, which is what you do when you try all of the marketing platforms, why not go 12 feet or farther in one direction? You'll gain so much more traction in your business. And by the way, if you haven't already guessed, focus is clearly a theme of this season of the podcast. If you want to succeed in business, you must focus on what is essential. Okay, so that's the first fact. All of these marketing channels are different, and it takes different skill sets to succeed at each of them. Fact number 2 is that marketing is really tiring. It's tiring for many reasons. And I mean, the first reason is that marketing is work. It takes effort and creativity and, sitting down and really doing it. And that is tiring. It takes mental work. And this is even more tiring. So what I mean by mental work is that marketing is also something that feels really vulnerable because you're exposing yourself. You're putting yourself out there in the world for people to judge you. And that is hard and that is scary. And you have to do it consistently to gain any kind of traction in your business, which takes a lot of effort, both mental and physical. And so when you're trying to do a million different marketing platforms, you start to feel so exposed and so afraid of judgment. And it's easy to want to take a break and hide because you're not getting the results that you want or you're getting negative feedback. And ultimately, this makes you exhausted. And exhausted people don't get very far. So I want you to keep this in mind. This is why marketing can be so hard. But I'm here to make your life easy. So if you want to find paying clients, let's focus. And I want to give you one of my really big marketing principles that I teach my students in Build a Real Business. So there's 6 marketing principles we focus on. And one of the first ones is to do less, but do it better. So put your energy in one main marketing platform. And the way that you choose is I want you to pick a platform that really works for your communication style, for something that you already like to do. So if you already love to give talks, you might consider public speaking. If you already love to write, then you might consider blogging and writing. If you love short form communication, if you're someone who just loves to text people and you will never pick up the phone and talk to them, you might consider one of the social media platforms, maybe LinkedIn if you like short form writing, or Instagram if you love expressing things visually. So that's the first thing I want you to do. Focus on your areas of strength. Because if you enjoy your marketing platform, if it doesn't feel completely alien or unpleasant to you, it'll be easier for you to do it consistently and to learn about it and to really stand out on it. And the second thing I want you to do is once you've figured out your communication style, I want you to then choose a platform where you know your niche already hangs out. And they're going to be on almost every platform, but some are better than others. So let me give you some examples of what I mean and how this all works. If you are a career coach who likes networking and short form writing, so you don't necessarily want to write a book or long blogs, but you do like to communicate in short form writing, then LinkedIn is probably a great platform for you as you can easily do both of these things on LinkedIn. And we know since you're a career coach, a lot of people needing career help are already out there waiting for you on LinkedIn. So it's a wonderful mix of everything that coming together in one platform that's really going to serve you. But let's say you're still a career coach, but you don't like short form writing. Instead, you love public speaking. You love the energy of being in front of a room. You love giving long form talks and teaching. Then you might consider public speaking as your platform, and you'll focus on getting in front of university alumni organizations and career-focused conferences, job search conferences, et cetera, since your people will have connections to these types of events. And that's the way that you'll get out there and be visible in your business. So just to give you an example of the same niche, but how it might show up differently on different platforms. Now, let's keep going with these examples because this might be helpful. So if, on the other hand, you are a retirement coach who loves communicating through shorter form video, you might consider YouTube over TikTok, for instance, because you know your demographic's a little bit older and they're more likely to Google search versus search on TikTok. And they're more likely to therefore watch YouTube since it's owned by Google than, have that TikTok account. So they're going to be on these platforms which have been around for a little bit longer. Basically, you get the idea. The first thing that you need to do to get more clients is to do less, which should be a relief. Focus more in your business, and instead of going in 1,000 different directions, put your energy in one main marketing directions, and you'll see that you'll get so much farther, so much faster. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there's 6 timeless marketing principles I teach in our marketing module in Barb, which is a huge module. It's only one lesson, but I know you don't have time for all of this. So in the interest of time and to help you as quickly as possible, I'm going to share marketing principle number 4, which is to get in front of other people's audiences. So let's unpack this. So see, as a new coach, you likely don't have an audience of people in your niche ready and waiting for you to coach them, right? That doesn't exist for you yet because you're new at this. You probably don't have an Instagram following of 50,000 people, or haven't built a YouTube channel of 100,000 people, or even haven't spent time building your network in this area. That's normal. And it takes time to build an audience, no matter what marketing channel you pick. It takes time to build up your speakers network and get invited to speak regularly. It takes time to build up your networking chops. It takes time to build an audience on LinkedIn and build your network there, and so on and so forth. So to get traction quickly and to get clients quickly, since that's what this podcast series is all about, I want you to get in front of other people's audiences on your preferred platform and market your business that way to begin. So you might be scratching your head. I get that. So let's talk about, what does this look like? Okay. So if you are thinking about starting a podcast because you love communicating in the way that I'm communicating right now, I hear you. I am a long-form communicator. Then instead of just starting your own podcast, getting in front of other people's audiences involves pitching yourself to be a podcast guest on existing podcasts that you know have your niche already in their audience. And voila, by being a guest on an existing, thoughtful podcast with a really good audience that's engaged, you've just reached an instant audience for your coaching that you didn't have to build. But let's say you're interested in public speaking instead. So getting in front of other people's audiences in terms of public speaking means getting invited to speak at existing organizations, nonprofits, groups, what have you, rather than trying to host and fill an event of your own. It's so much easier than you just have to show up and speak to their audience. They'll advertise it for you. They'll give you their credibility because their people already know this group or organization, and you don't have to organize anything. And again, voila, instant audience for your coaching. Now, if you're thinking about getting on Instagram, on the other hand, getting in front of other people's audiences is going to look a little bit different. It means using hashtags, tags, trends, and partnerships with others who have existing audiences on Instagram already to help get the word out about your business. If you are on LinkedIn, it means asking people in your online network to make introductions to their network, and also commenting and adding value in other people's posts, people with existing big audiences who post and engage regularly, so that their audience is exposed to your skills and your expertise. So you get the idea. And I'll be honest, you have to sometimes get really creative depending on your marketing platform, but there is always, always a way to get in front of other people's audiences on a marketing platform if you are willing to think hard enough and work hard at it. So bottom line, the fastest way to find people for your coaching is to get in front of existing audiences, in front of other people's audiences, so you don't have to build your own on day one. Okay, so I know I've thrown a lot of information at you, so let's take a moment to recap. So first off, marketing is hard because marketing channels are all different. The skills required to be a great YouTuber are not the same skills required to be a great blogger. So it's easy to try and do too many things and then end up doing none of them well. This is why getting focused in your marketing and selecting just 1 or 2 main marketing channels will pay off so much more quickly for you. Do less, but do it better. Number 2, get in front of other people's audiences. Audiences that, of course, include people in your niche so that you maximize your efforts as you're getting in front of other people's audiences. You don't usually have an audience of your own in your niche as a new coach. So the fastest way to find clients is to choose a platform that you enjoy. So make sure you enjoy it, and then get in front of other people's audiences on that platform in order to reach more people more quickly. And I know marketing is a huge topic, and there's so much more we can talk about with this. So there's a ton of resources on coachpony.com. And if you want to hang out with me a little bit more, but also on video, not just on audio, don't forget we have an amazing free training for you, a deep dive video all about how to market your business as a coach. And you can find it at coachpony.com marketing. We'll make sure it's all in the show notes. So feel free to go to coachpony.com marketing or just click this podcast and dig in. After my early failure with social media, I sat on my couch and thought, if I was going to have to market my business over the long term, then I absolutely needed to enjoy it. So I thought about what I most enjoyed as a marketer and where I was most comfortable as a communicator. And I realized that for me, in that moment, public speaking was the answer. I was a master facilitator in my past consulting life. I was comfortable in front of the room, working with groups, and I really enjoyed the energy of being with people in that way. So I made a list of places I could check out to speak for free to help get the word out about my coaching. And at the end of every free talk, I'd give people a compelling reason to take the next step with me. On my list, I came up with everything from my alumni organization, my university, to local industries that cater to professional women. And I also checked Eventbrite, Meetup, and the paper for local events for me to attend. Because who knew what organization might need a speaker at short notice? And oh my gosh, it worked. I started selling over $10,000 of coaching at different speaking events within a few months, and my business was changed forever. Plus, the best news, I didn't have to get on social media, and that was a win all on its own. And my network helped me out as well, offering ideas and suggestions for where to look and sometimes making really important introductions or just cheering me on. My business was finally taking off. And speaking of networking, keeping with our Formula One theme, I want to wrap up this episode with a pit crew pep talk because no coach ever succeeds alone, just like no driver in Formula One ever competes alone. The team and the pit crew is there to do important support work, from standard support like changing the tires to more complex support, like reminding you to get out there and use your network and make those introductions when you really need the help. So I'm turning it over to one of my favorite people in my personal pit crew, Bobbi Palmer from DateLikeAGrownup.com. Bobbi, can you please give a pep talk to everyone listening who might be struggling with their marketing?
You know, in all the years that I've been a coach, I realized that the people that hire me are people that feel like they know me and they can connect with me and they can relate to me. The key to really good marketing is helping people get to know you and how you can help them. And it's kind of scary to put yourself out there, but remember, you're not doing that so everyone will like you. You're doing it so the right people, the people that, again, feel connected to you, will be attracted to you and come to you for help. And that's what marketing is. Don't be afraid of it. Just do it. Just go for it.
And if you want us and me personally on your pit crew, come on over to coachpony.com. We've got tons of free resources for you to help you in your business, including an amazing free 14-minute class all about how to find paying clients. And it's at coachpony.com/marketing.
Okay, we've started the engines. Let's check in with Pitwall. Toto, what's happening next?
Next up, we are talking about how to diagnose issues in your business, like Red Bull has to diagnose issues with their car. Ha!
And with that, I'll see you next time.